Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. In this one, I want to explain to you from the ground up how you can build your personal brand and monetize it very well in 2019 using just some key simple strategies I'll be explaining to you. So as you guys know, I've shown you in other videos, I'm able to make quite a bit of money just selling courses and selling coaching through my personal brand, right? I've been in the e-commerce niche, I've been in the wedding photography niche, and I've been in a couple of other niches where I experimented with this process of putting out content and helping people with a certain problem and then monetizing it further, right? And it's just a really fun and really impactful way to make money online. And frankly, it's what I believe to be the most lucrative online business known to man because your personal brand never leaves you, right? So who you are online, as long as it resonates with who you are in person, it will send leads to whatever business you open. It will help you get whatever job you want in the future. It will essentially not only sell courses and coaching, which is how I teach people how to monetize it short term, but it will open up doors for impact and like changing lives. And it's a really, really neat way to go in terms of creating income online because it's so much more than that. Also, by the way, yes, I did get a haircut. It's like the shortest, like my hair's looked in years. I kind of like it though. Let me guys know what you think. Let me know what you guys think. Not let me guys know what you think. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop onto the whiteboard here. I'm just going to talk about some basics of how you can build a personal brand. So personal branding. So what I don't want you guys to think too, and this is important to understand, is that personal branding is just having the size of an audience. So this is a misconception that a lot of people have. The size, I think I'll just do some bullet points and dig in deeper on this video, that sort of format. Size does not equal quality when it comes to personal branding. Now it does help. Oops, I put that eye on the wrong side there. Whatever, you get the point. It does help. Having a sizable audience online is one of the biggest assets that you can create for yourself because you can sell them anything you want, right? But the reality is that I'd rather have 1,000 people that follow me and love what I do than a ton of people that follow me and don't really care at all about what I do because, frankly, that's an asset that I need to tend to, right? And if I had, it's almost like owning real estate that you don't want. It's almost like it's if you're in real estate and you own a home that's like been broken into and but you can't seem to figure out how to sell it, right? It's almost the same thing. It's like having this depreciating asset that you can't seem to get rid of, right? And so the size does not always equal the quality, right? The quality can be measured with a few things. Number one, their consistency in their loyalty to your brand, right? And as well, you can be measured in its ability to monetize. So can you sell things to them? Which is another way to see if they trust and have loyalty to you, right? Another way to tell if their quality is, are they all within the same niche, right? So are they all people who suffer from a similar problem that you can solve with an offer or that you can bring value to somehow? Because if you bring value to them, not only does your audience grow, but also if you bring value to them, you can convert them into sales later, right? So this is something you must understand. Size does not equal quality, but when you're actually building your personal brand, let's actually get on to strategies here when you're building your personal brand. So my favorite platform is, so I'm just going to sort of dot this and start another thing. My favorite platform is YouTube, right? For a big reason. The main reason why I love YouTube is because it's a really easy way to connect with lots of people at once. Like with Instagram, you can't really post these long videos. With Facebook, you can't really post these long videos. With YouTube, people watch a video from front to back pretty often, right? And so it's really, really good to build an audience on YouTube because you can share your story with tons of people at once and they can begin to understand you and understand what you have to offer. And you can't really do this on many other platforms. So this is the platform that I teach my students to use, and I teach them in depth how to use it, how to utilize it, how to grow it, and how to actually build the systems in the back end that allow you to monetize it well through courses and coaching. So with YouTube, some of the things that you want to do: select a niche. Select a niche, right? So that's the first thing you're going to want to do is know who you are helping and know what their problems are and know how to solve them, right? And if you don't have a niche and you don't really commit to a specific set of things, then you're going to realize really quickly that it's really hard to maintain a quality audience. You may build a sizable audience, but the quality may drop. and I've experienced this myself, right? I changed niches a couple times, and I've suffered because of it. I didn't select a niche and stick to it, right? So what you also must understand is when you select a niche, and this is something big to understand, when you select a niche, let me just draw it here, I guess. I'll just do this here, yeah. When you select a niche, something incredible happens. So niche growth, let's just call it that. Niche growth. So when you have a niche selected and you actually commit to it, you'd think that your audience would sort of grow at a linear basis like this, right? Where it's sort of just like a straight, slow, steady growth over time, right? But the reality is if you have a niche selected, you know, your reputation begins to really hold you up and you kind of just grow like that, where it's exponential. And you begin to just shoot up like crazy. And so I've seen this for myself. I've seen this within other brands. And some of my students have seen this, where if they stick to a niche for a long enough time, they begin to grow. So this first period right here, where you're still getting traction, you're not going to make a whole lot of money, and it's really going to be really hard for you to get going. But if you stick to a niche, and you become a resource within that niche, and you build a reputation in that niche, you begin to exponentially grow. So you must understand that that's really what you're aiming for. You're not aiming for a linear, steady growth over time, because what you want to become is a resource for people and get shared, right? So like, you know, here you have 100 subscribers, here you have 500, and here you have 1,000. Now you have 5,000, now you have 10,000, now you have 50,000, right? It's just this like, it's not a linear growth. And those are the best kinds of businesses to be in, because if it's not linear, then it just shoots up forever, and eventually you're way up here, and you started way down here, and it took you, you know, a tenth of the amount of time to get here than it would have if you slowly grew it linearly, right? And so selecting a niche will allow you to do that. So as long as you select a niche and dedicate to it, I crossed through niche. As long as you select a niche and dedicate to it, you will have this exponential growth, right? The next thing is once you've selected a niche, be consistent. And so this is something that will really hurt your brand if you're not consistent, right? So if you're not actually consistent in what it is that you serve them with and how you solve their problems, and as well when you upload and what topics you upload about, then this exponential growth won't happen. And you won't be able to sell to people, you won't be able to grow your brand, and you won't ultimately you won't have the impact that you want to have, right? Next to that, you're going to want to understand that when you're growing a personal brand, one of the most important things you have to understand is that it's not about you. Not about you. So, what I mean by this is a lot of people try to grow a personal brand through things like maybe vlogs, or they try to grow a personal brand through things like maybe, you know, personal life updates and stuff like that. And you can do that, and it may work, but the reality is, you know, a YouTube channel that has 50,000 subscribers in a niche where they're serving and solving a massive problem, maybe in business or in the tech world or whatever, versus a YouTube channel with 4 million and it's like some, you know, some boy vlogger, right? Like, the dude with 50,000 subscribers is making exponentially more money because he's actually solving problems, right? So if you make it about you, you have to do it strategically. So vlogs have their time, like life updates have their time, right? So like people want to know sometimes, they DM me and they want to know what I'm about and what I do and why I do what I do, and so then I'll make a video every now and again, right? But for the most part, my videos are like this, where I just help you guys. So building a personal brand, once you sell courses and coaching or selling anything, it is a multi-million-dollar business because you can garner the trust of tons of people. Ultimately, all sales is you trusting somebody else with your money in return for the value that they're going to bring you. And if you can get tons of people to trust you and love you, then you can sell a ton of stuff, right? So that's really what personal branding is. So keep in mind though, in order to get to that point, you have to not make it about you. You have to give value to others. If you make it about you, then ultimately your brand equity is just going to drop because people get kind of sick of hearing from you and they don't really want to know about you. Half the people, if not more than half the people, don't really care. They're just there to learn, right? And so you'll see this pretty often. Somebody will think that it's about them and they get a big channel and they make it about them and they start vlogging or whatever, and then they just go down the drain, you know? And so you have to just be consistent in the niche that you've selected, solving their problems, and making sure that it's not about you. YouTube is an incredible platform to do this on if you understand a few things. So let me tell you what you should probably learn here. you should understand SEO, so know how to rank your videos, right? So you must understand, how do I rank my videos on YouTube's search engine, right? And nextly, you should have an upload schedule so that you're consistent. Schedule. Because if you're not consistent on this platform, then YouTube actually really hurts that. Like, their algorithm really prefers people who upload consistently if you're trying to grow organically, right? And next to SEO, you just have to have valuable content. I'm getting really low here. Like on the freaking floor right now. There you go, valuable content. So just understand that if you have search engine optimization, so you can actually be shown on search results and in suggested videos, and you are consistent with your uploads, and then you provide value with your uploads, then you will begin to slowly but surely win the trust over of tons of people, and you can ultimately convert this system into lots of sales, right? Exponentially. Because if we just grow a business like some businesses are growing, you know, it's this slow, steady growth. But reality is, when we're working with an algorithm that favors the already large, like, you know, we have this exponential thing. So when you're small, you're going to start off really slowly growing, but you're going to begin to exponentially just shoot up if you are consistent with your niche and you're consistent. Or sorry, if you're consistent with your niche and you solve a good problem and you don't make it about you, right? So that's sort of the end of the video. I just wanted to talk about how you can build your personal brand in 2018. I think a lot of people have 2019. I think a lot of people have some misconceptions about really what it means to run a personal brand and what they're about. Ultimately, it's about winning. It's about developing a relationship with a ton of people. It's about being like a light in the lives of others and allowing that just to naturally turn into whatever it turns into. And if you're in a business niche, it'll turn into business. If not, it won't, right? But I'm in a business niche, so I make money doing this, and I make a lot of money doing this. And people like Gary Vaynerchuk or Grant Cardone, they're in the business niche, right? Where, you know, Gary says, oh, I don't make money off my audience. Well, reality is he makes a buttload of money because he runs the agency that services people that find him through his personal brand, right? So yes, he makes a lot of money from his personal brand. It may not be from coaching or courses like a lot of people do, but he runs an agency, so he makes a lot of money from his personal brand. And so this is something any big business owner should be thinking about. How do I build my brand right now, right? So I met up recently with the CEO of a it's a pretty high-level company. I think I can even say who it is. But, you know, we had a really long talk about his personal brand and how he's going to be building it, right? And the strategies he's going to use to build this thing, because he knows that it's going to drive inbound leads. This is a multi-$10 million company, and I get to sit down with him and talk with him. Here's really what you should be doing right now in order to build this thing. And I've got him running a podcast and all this stuff, and it's going to drive inbound leads for his company. So there you go. That's all I have for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope I brought some value to you today. If I did, leave a like down below and show me that I did. And as well, comment something supportive, ask a question. I see all the comments and I get back to them pretty consistently. So see you guys in the next one.